Hello, everybody. I am Mel Barrett, and welcome to Something's Off, a true crime podcast where we question the F out of everything. And I'm here back with my friend, my pal, my co-host.
Yeah, we're here for one of our dual two-party streams.
Who are
We
you?
don't have any unrelated third parties in this stream. It's just the two of us, It's
Who
a good
are you?
time.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Rebecca Lavoie. I mean, you guys know my name is literally on the screen.
I'm
You
just
know,
saying.
I'm it's literally it's a good time.
For the
Yeah,
audio
and
audience, though, the podcast audience.
that's true. That's true. Today we're going to be talking about lots of stuff about
Lots
the
of
Lindsay
stuff.
Clancy courtroom, about new filings in Aidan Kearney and Karen Reed's various cases,
Yep.
about Brian Higgins being scared of a content creator.
Podcast. Yeah.
We have a lot to discuss. I'm so excited to talk about it all with you, Mel. I really am. Maybe a little gossip. Maybe a little gossip.
Probably a little bit more than a little.
I do
gossip.
love me. I love some secondhand gossip. I love being uninvolved and yet completely commenting on it all the time. That's my favorite.
So much to talk about today. Are you going to be here with me for a couple hours?
Yeah,
You got
as long as you want.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
do it.
All right, we'll get to it on the other side.
All right.
Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, allegedly. I'm smart.
Happy Monday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie. Happy gay summer, Mel.
Happy hump day, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm not humping anybody. I'm Rebecca Lavoie.
Happy Saturday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
Oh, no.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie and my mic is muted.
Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie and that's Briscoe.
And welcome to Something's Off, a true crime podcast where we swat the haters aside with our astute takes and humor and joy. And
the
I don't
joylessness
give
of those
a
people.
fuckness. Blah.
Hags.
You hear it first in the break in the story. One little crack and the whole thing gets wary. A witness swears but the timeline bends. A smile too smooth and the trail just ends. Mel Barrett says, hold up, look again. Rebecca Lavoie follows every thread. If it feels too neat, then it's not the truth. There's a shadow line running through the room. Something's off, something's off. You can feel it in the bones. Something's off, something's off. When the facts won't come home. Something's off, something's off. And the case won't stay in place. Something's off. We're the ones who chase.
We're gonna go members only.
Yeah, we're the ones who chase. Wait, did that witness just blink 3 times? Something's off. Something's off.
Something's off. Hi.
Hi.
Can I just say one thing that I'm incredibly annoyed with today? Can I just start off with that?
Anything you want, girl.
Okay, so in DC, I don't know if you guys have this where you live, but in DC and Maryland and probably Virginia too, we have speed cameras. Do you know about speed cameras?
Mm-hmm.
So throughout the whole city of DC, they have hidden speed cameras everywhere. So if you are going more than 25 miles an hour in DC, you get a ticket. And I got my ticket late for some reason. And so I got one ticket and then the day later I got another ticket. Look how much this is for. I was going 32 in a 25.
Hmm.
Do you see that? $200. $200 friggin' dollars.
Guys, the tip link is pinned to the chat. Just saying.
Jeez. I'm like I was going 7 miles over the speed limit and got a $200 speeding ticket.
It's like Connecticut. Connecticut is like that, with incredibly punitive with their fines. Yeah.
The easy passes whenever we drive to New York or New Hampshire and we go through Delaware and New Jersey and Maryland, just New York, the easy passes for some reason do not recognize our transponder thingies. And so if you go through and you're not recognized, it's a bigger bill.
Yeah.
And so we have to call every month and be like, we have a transponder. It is not our fault. Your equipment isn't working. But it's like hundreds of dollars just to go from here to New York with a car.
Hey, it worked. Exhibit Alley donating to Mel's speeding ticket fund. You weren't even speeding. That's the whole. I mean,
No.
32 and a 25 is not like when you pass somebody and they're like, slow down.
Yeah, no,
Not like that.
And it wasn't like I wasn't trying to speed. I was in the city because I was going to a tennis match and I didn't know where I was going. So I was like looking, around, and I must have gone like over 25.
Yeah.
The next thing I know, I get a ticket in the mail for $200.
That deserves some suspenseful music right there.
I did it 5 minutes and I already said the episode.
Oh, well, it's all right. It's okay. You make up for it.
I don't know. You're just my type.
Yeah.
Story.
I haven't gotten a ticket in a very long time.
I don't get speeding tickets. That's what pisses me off about this. I don't get them.
I haven't gotten a speeding ticket in many. I can't remember the last, if I've ever, except the one I got in Connecticut 10 million years ago, which was $350. Connecticut completely blows in terms, and it's funny because I'm not like anti-Connecticut as a place, but in terms of driving stuff, it totally blows. It's horrible to drive through. The roads are really boring. They don't have like, they have the top of the Merritt Parkway, which is not boring, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I do love the Merritt. So yeah, poor Emily, poor other Emily is in a meeting and has to listen to us on mute, which is not listening to us. Just FYI, Emily.
She just has to watch me emote.
Exactly. Burrito Bleps, thank you for the 1,000 jewels and whatever a goat trophy is. We really appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
And AP, I'm not going to say her name because I think I remember the last time you sent over a tip, you said not to say her name. AP, thank you for the $40 tip.
Whoa.
Thank you for your coverage of the case on time for the live for once. Thank you so much. If you guys want to tip, the Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo are at the top of the screen. There's a QR code at the top for the Venmo, and I'm assuming Rebecca or I can't remember who did it, pinned all of the tip stuff in the chat. So
I saw it pinned, so somebody did it.
It was.
Can you guys confirm it was done? Hold on, let me look. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. I'll look at our YouTube.
I'm pretty sure I did it. But anyway,
I think you did.
If you guys feel so inclined, or you're able to, and you want to, throw us a tip.
I'm a member to our channel. I don't know if you know that.
Are you?
Yeah. You know why? Because I want to.
I can hear me. I can hear myself.
I'm a member on our channel only because I want to understand. I want to experience the membership experience. Okay. I want to make sure it's like not a bad experience. You know what I mean? I'm also like, that's how I check our Patreon, except you don't need to be a member of your own Patreon to check your own Patreon. So I'm a member of our channel. What can I say?
Whoa. Ray of Sunshine said my brother's friend recently got a ticket and had to go to driving class when he did 96 and a 30. He's 19.
Sounds like Aidan Kearney.
He could have been arrested for that. You can be arrested for 15 miles over, right? Is it 15 miles over?
I think it varies by state, right?
I don't know. Anyway, 15 miles over, you can get arrested for that.
Our legislature just passed a law. Actually, they overrode a veto of a law, so it's going to be a law that in New Hampshire, out-of-state transponders will be charged at least twice as much as in-state transponders.
Friggin' bullshit. That's why we get charged.
But you can get a free transponder right now in New Hampshire, so you can just get a New Hampshire one and then just like hold it up when you're driving underneath the thing.
I'm just telling you, like every time we drive, so it's a 4-hour drive from here to New York, and we have to go through from Maryland to Delaware to New Jersey to New York. And when we go through Delaware, New Jersey, and New York, we get charged like double when our transponder isn't recognized. And it's supposed to be universal, but it's insane. Anyway, okay. On to other things like gossip. What's going on, Rebecca?
What's going on in the gossip land? Hold on. I mean, I have gossip notes. Let me pull them up. Boop, boop, boop. That's not it. Here it is. Hold on. You know when you have 10 million Chrome windows open? That ever happened to you?
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Yep.
Okay. 10 million Chrome windows. Okay. All right. Do you remember? Let me see if I can find it. I have it open on the screen, so I know I can find it. Do you remember when Karen Reed, and remember when Nick Rocco announced that he was going to be starting a podcast with
the Reed Files?
The Reed Files. Yeah. Hold on. I had it open. I want to show you what it looks like now. Here we go.
Can I do a FOIA request on Rebecca's gossip notes?
Yes.
Lady Harlot wants to know. We do have notes on the gossip decals. We actually do. It's at the top of we have a gigantic notes folder that's probably about 400 pages at this point from everything that we've covered, and we do our show notes in there together. And there is gossip in the show notes. So
Look at that.
oh, wait, we can't see it. Oh wait, no, I can see it. That so they shut down the read files, huh? Is that because Alan Jackson's like, nope, can't do it?
I mean, do you get the feeling that the Roccos are still somehow representing Karen Reed? I don't get that feeling. I don't know. I wasn't there for the conversation. It would be hearsay for me to tell you what they said. But
I think after that wonky fundraiser that Cryford did, I think after that they were like, okay, we need to find better people.
Well, no, because after that, I think that the establishment of the potential for this podcast was after that or around, I don't know. All I have to say is it ain't happening, which is good because it was a terrible idea. It was a terrible idea to do a podcast while you're being sued and in two different forums for defamation. I mean, Aidan doesn't care.
We have some commentary on this.
We do.
One Day at a Time said, Rebecca, last night on JFK, Nick said the read files will evolve to more of a talk show.
That's what I would say too. If Karen Reed was no longer my co-host,
it will happen in a different format. I bet it will. A format.
Well, he set up the channel. He's got to use it for something,
right?
That's what Jess always says. That's what Jess always says. So she's promised. She took up this challenge from Valerie that next week she's not going to talk about any other content creators. Which I want to do the over under on how long that lasts. I really do. I think it lasts maybe one day.
Yeah.
She's taking it up and she's like, so we're going to do a whole new format next week. It's going to be a real show, a whole new format. That's
one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things that she says is, nobody can do what I do. Nobody can put this show together like I do. I'm like, bitch, you literally pick up your phone and you stick it on whatever thing you have in your car, and you don't put your face on the screen, and you drive around screaming at people and ordering your whole milk, whatever. And it's like, nobody can do what you can do because you're the only one who like jumps on without a plan.
Oh, apparently it was a challenge from Megan Fox. I'm sorry, not Valerie. I had Valerie in my head because I'm going to play you a clip that involves Valerie. But yeah, I mean, okay, I'm going to be charitable.
Okay. Oh, great.
She's very good. Jess is very good at filling hours with just talking, which is not easy. That's hard to do when you're by yourself. That's actually a skill. That's a skill that a lot of radio hosts have. She has that skill. The problem is, because she wants to fill all these hours, she ends up saying things that that should be regrettable. They absolutely should be regrettable. Like she says hypocritical things. She says defamatory things. She says racist things. She uses epithets she should not use. Yesterday, she said the F word a couple of times. The gay one.
Not the F-U-C-K word, but
no, the other
gay one.
Wow.
Yeah. She's in reference to what?
I think she was calling somebody that. I think I didn't see it, but I heard about it. She like today she had this whole thing where she was like not going to talk about Aidan anymore or whatever. What he doesn't hurt her anymore. And then she proceeded to talk about him for 15 minutes about his money. And she's like, you should sell your car and you should sell your house. Why'd you have to buy a $600,000 house? You could have lived in a divorced dad apartment and you're just begging people for money. And I'm like, she went on this rant for a really long time. And I'm like, wait, I thought we weren't doing that.
Jen WH said, just want to say productivity at work is way down today. With 2 somethings off streams and a pedicure. And also Naira got the juice, said she called Aidan the F word.
Yeah. To be fair, that's a word he uses sometimes too. I'm not going to absolve either one of them for using that word.
True.
That being said, if you call him on saying that word, he'll be like, yeah, I did. And here's why. You call her and saying that word, she'll probably deny that she said it. Like today she was saying, because her stream got taken down by YouTube for bullying. And she said it was
taken. Wait. You just buried the lead. Excuse me.
Her stream from yesterday was struck. Her 5-hour stream was struck by YouTube for harassment and bullying. That's one of the ways they can strike a stream. That's the thing. On her stream today, she addressed it. And she said the reason she got taken down was because of the section of the show. Because, I guess you can ask, like, we haven't gotten that one yet. We will someday, but we haven't gotten that one yet. The section of the show, she said that attributed her to being taken down for bullying was when she was reading the titles to J7's podcast episodes.
Well, there you
And
go.
I'm like,
That makes
I
sense.
have a very hard time believing that J7 could put podcast titles on her episodes that are so offensive that Google would take down your 5-hour stream for bullying, but not
Yeah.
take down those
Yep.
streams with those titles.
Yep.
So yes, she did say the other day that a radio station person called her a once in a lifetime talent.
Who said that?
Jess, as they put her on Saturday afternoons and on evening, not even afternoon drive. So I work at a radio station. I can tell you the stuff you put on Saturday afternoons and at night, like after evening drive, is the stuff you're like, we just need to fill the space.
Okay, so I just want to go back to, I want to address the fact that Aidan uses the same F word slur that Jess uses. They're apparently, he's, I don't know. I don't like it when he uses it. And if he ever were to use it in my presence, I would say something to him. I also already know that Jess is racist and homophobic, so it's no surprise to me that she uses that word. I can only imagine what she says in private when she's not on her show. I feel like that's a sort of like, you know, pared down version of her on her show. I'm sure I think we're just getting like the 25% of her.
Oh, we are getting the part of her that's trying to solicit money from upper middle class women in their 50s. That's what we're getting. That's what we're getting. We're getting the part of her that's like, this is just a reality show about parenthood and my life. Today she opened her mail on her stream.
Great. I mean, I'm surprised she didn't get taken down. Are we talking about the stream she did with Jeffica in the car? The one that Aidan covered?
The one from yesterday, which I did not watch.
I'm surprised that one, the one with Jeffica, didn't get taken down because he was actually threatening Turtle Boy on the stream. Like, I'll kick your ass. Like, if you come near me, I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I heard that one.
Yeah.
And she was like, to be clear, this is not a threat of physical violence. And he was like, no. But if I see him, I will kick his ass.
Yeah, exactly. Just a girl from the 6. Our email address is somethingsoffpod@gmail.com.
And we look at all of them.
And I did get your flyer earlier today, and I did post it on Twitter, and I'm going to show it here as well. I don't know if it's your flyer, but you sent it to me. Okay.
All right. So can I play you the thing she said today that I absolutely loved?
Yes.
I absolutely love this. And let me see. I think I'm at the right spot. I think this is where it leads up. This is about Valerie, who she calls, quote, Big Husky.
Are we going to recognize how oddly important spaces on X are to Valerie? This is something I think that we just like, listen, I wrote a fucking song about it, right? Like Big Husky, Big Mad, like in the chats, like she takes over. Like, when are we going to?
First of all, you didn't write a song about
behavior of this woman. Now, for the most part, I don't ever really talk about Valerie, right?
Wait, what? For the most part, you don't talk about Valerie?
For the most part.
Girl, you do.
In comparison to other people, we don't talk about Valerie. The reason for that is she essentially just
because she scares you.
Just lives in like these spaces where I am not. And so like, and then I would have to seek out her posts on Twitter for me to like even be impacted by the post that she posts about me. But she's talking about my kids, right? And so now she's on my radar. And so when are we going to start talking about the fact that we have a grown adult? Like, this is a grown woman, right? Like, I'm sure somebody knows.
By the way, this is the part.
Knows her age, right? She's 51, 52, whatever, who knows? When are we going to start looking at the fact that this woman has like this very, very peculiar behavior surrounding going on the internet, getting on a live chat room, and like wanting to control the way it goes, who talks. She incites people to come on.
Does this sound like somebody familiar?
Or conflicts. Yeah. The way that she says, like, get up here. What she sees who's in the comment section, and she's like, oh, you're here, get on here, get on here. Like, it's almost methodical when you really watch it, when you really pay attention, which I am now paying attention to. This woman does not start a space or get on a space for anything good or wholesome.
As opposed to
you? Good or wholesome? Hold on.
There is never a time where I have heard this woman on there to just have like a good conversation about like who the fuck knows, like anything.
Okay.
And that is like, and it is frequent. It is frequent.
It is? It's frequent that she goes online and says things about people. That's frequent.
That she is on these spaces. Now, I'm not going to hate on that because I'm on the internet every day. So
You're not going to hate.
But you are. Okay, I can't.
Anyway, that was the whole thing about her never going on the internet to start a conversation that's good or wholesome. I'm like, the only wholesome thing about your streams is the fact that you drink whole milk. Like that is the only wholesome situation on your streams. And I am a whole milk drinker. I'm not yet. I've talked about this on the show. I think it's funny that she does her coffee, or her coffee order is just part of her brand, and that people sort of have are able to poke at. I think anything you can poke at can be funny, but people, I actually just prefer the taste of whole milk in my iced latte. That's my thing. But to say that all she wants to do, and she goes on and on and on, is go on the internet to start trouble and talk crap about people. And she's a 50-year-old woman who spends all her time on the internet just talking about other people. What happened to her? What happened to her?
All right. Okay. I got to say thank you to Rachel, who is our most generous supporter. Thank you so much. You keep the show moving forward. You keep the lights on. I really appreciate you. Rachel tipped us $100 and says, the dynamic duo back together. Baddie speed. Don't worry, Mel. I got pulled over for the first time in years recently, and my tags were expired for a year and a half. Okay.
People in the chat are very invested in the fact that I prefer whole milk. It's better for me. It tastes better to me. Doesn't have to taste better to you. Oh, you know what I wore today in honor of me playing that video for you?
What's that? Look. Polka dots.
I wore my polka dot skirt.
Thanks for the $5, Mandy Horton. Mandy says, for joining for a bit on my break and laughing my ass off.
Joining.
Glad you're here. We're
joining. Yes. It was a good morning. I had a good morning. Yeah.
All right. We got a couple of dumb tweets too, right?
We do. Let me pull those up. I have them.
Bailey says, Rebecca, you looked fucking gorgeous for your son's wedding. Congratulations.
Thank you very, very much. I really can't tell you how much I appreciate you saying that. All right. I felt good about how I looked that day. You know how sometimes you just feel good about how you look on a particular day? That was one of those days. All right. Dumb tweet number one is from the internet's biggest baby, Brian, a.k.a. retail work and LTL media. And there's nothing wrong with working retail.
Nothing wrong with...
I worked retail for many, many, many years. But the way he talks about his job, you would think he was protecting the nuclear codes. I swear to God. He's like, I have a very important day job. My team is just real great. My team. And I'm like, dude, you oversee a bunch of retail stores. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not the nuclear codes. Anyway, what he says here about Jimmy is this guy mocked ALS.
No, he did not. These people.
Of course he didn't. He mocked Mike Crawford for doing the ice bucket challenge outside of Market Basket and literally said, if we still had this version of Mike, I'd be friends with that guy. I like that version of Mike. So, yeah. Do you agree with that behavior? Do you agree with mocking ALS, Mel? Do you agree with that?
Apparently, if I'm a fan of Auntie Deb, and Auntie Deb, he looked pretty hot in his stream the other day. Did you see him in his like chambray?
Yesterday,
he looked so sexy.
I was like, Jimmy, what a waist over there! Wow, that's what we used to call Father de Brickasaw from Thornbirds. We used to call him Father What a Waist. Or like any hot priest who's gay is a Father What a Waist, or any so it's like he was a Father What a Waist. By the way, the Glarer was on our audio podcast. These Are Their Stories. It dropped yesterday. Go on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to audio, Spotify, look for These Are Their Stories. Glarer was yesterday's guest, and he is fantastic in that episode. He is so good, and his mic
probably much better than me because I did not.
Oh, we're having you back. We're having you back in a lesbian-centric episode at some point.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Totally. Yep. But he was fantastic. He's an SVU user. Like he's an SVU
I know. That's why I'm saying his was probably much better than mine because I am not, and I don't like watch SVU all the time.
This because I'm a lesbian.
He does. Yeah, good job. See? You know it enough to share that.
I do.
You know it enough to share that. Okay. Yes, Kevin is hilarious. The whole podcast, the whole conceit of that podcast is coming in and laughing at jokes that my husband makes about the episode.
Home Slice, did you guys go over J7 streaming the audio of your members only?
No, when was that? To let us know.
Apparently,
Is this
somebody
is
it.
why in the chats I keep seeing people saying that Kim is mobbed up? That nurse Kim is mobbed up. I saw that in somebody's chat and I wonder where that came from. I'm like, I wonder if somebody got that from our members only. And that was a joke, by the way. The joke, for those of you who are not members, that I said in our members only like 2 times ago was, why is everybody so scared of alienating Nurse Kim? Is she mobbed up or something? And of course, the answer is because people like her, right?
Yeah.
I made a joke. Oh, she must be mobbed up. People are scared.
I'm sure that it's been sent to her, and I'm sure she's like, why do they hate me?
I don't hate her. I don't even know her. She's been on Court TV at the same time as me. She seems lovely. But when Rebecca goes low and drinks whole milk, the rest of us go high and drink almond milk. Who is with me? Are you trying to rally the troops against me? Is this weaponizing my chat against me? Okay. Second stupid tweet. Let me make this bigger. Can you see it bigger now? Is it bigger?
Yeah.
So this is from the standout outside of the Lindsay Clancy trial today, which we're going to talk about. And Mama Llama, different trial, same shit, same state, same circus. And once again, everyone seems to forget who the victims are.
Wow.
Pretty dumb.
She's real fucking dumb, in my opinion. Yeah.
I promise you. I would bet my entire retirement account on this.
Uh-oh.
If Aidan was virulently anti-Lindsay Clancy, if he were one of these like, Trump bro types, not Ben Shapiro, but the other guy, Matt Walsh types, who's like, PPP is selfish and it's just women being selfish, whatever the hell that was. If he were very anti-Lindsay Clancy, said that she knew what she was doing, she's a cold-hearted murderer, blah, 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 blah. I promise you, Mama Llama would be the biggest advocate for Lindsay Clancy in the world. Yep. I promise you.
More than likely. All right, let's actually, since that happened today, so this morning in chat, just a girl from the 6 sent me a flyer that this was happening. Although I think it was happening while we were streaming. It was like 7:45 outside of the courtroom. So this flyer went out. Apparently, there were hordes of people out there reminiscent of the Karen Reed trial and all of her supporters. So that happened, and then this is what it looked like. Hold on. This is what it looked like out there, and we're also gonna listen to a little Kevin Reddington interview. CNN was there. Did you see Manu Raju? Manu Raju asked Kevin Reddington a question.
Yeah, I haven't seen the coverage of it. I just watched the stream myself. So
yeah, Manu Raju, who I like quite a bit actually. He's not bad. He's a good reporter. Anyway, I think it was Manu Raju. I might be wrong. Okay,
so I'm just gonna ice water from my fridge door, guys. It's freaking 2:30 in the afternoon. What do you think is the matter with me?
They're used to your cross roasts. They're used to the cross roast. Member for 2 months, New Hampshire woman. Love my 603 ladies. I think we had a couple of members sign up and we didn't say thank you to them. Monica is one of those people.
Yeah, you can join us for our cross roast on Monday nights.
Thank you so much, Monica.
I'm thinking about making Mel watch a Jess stream sometime for a cross roast.
Ooh, that would be cringe.
Want to do that this Monday?
Sure.
Let's do it. I got to pick a good one.
Sure. I'll be back. I'll be freshly back from regionals and probably exhausted. So yes.
Guys, DM me on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, DM me suggested timestamps, streams, clips that I should play for Mel on a cross roast on this Monday night.
Oh God. Okay. I'm just going to show you some of the scenes from outside and then we'll look at Kevin Reddington's interview, which he is so humble and he gets a little embarrassed. Like I guarantee you he blushed. He's such a sweet guy. And all these women, this is so funny to me. When they like talk to the women that are out here, they're like, what are you, are you out here for Lindsay? Like, what are you doing? And they're like, yeah, we're out here for Lindsay. And we love Kevin Reddington. Kevin Reddington is our hero. It's so cute to me. Kevin Reddington has a gigantic fan base of ladies right now. And I love it. Also, you missed this on the show was it yesterday? I found pictures of Kevin Reddington's son, and he is a hottie bobati.
What does he do for work?
Very sexy. He's a lawyer. His name's Patrick. He calls him Pat.
Sweet. Pat.
And he's super sexy. All right, here we go. So
if you're saying it, it must be true.
I'm saying it. He has a great beard. He has good hair. So this is what
somebody
it looked
filming
like
this with a flip phone.
I think it was probably an iPhone. This is what it looked like outside of the court. I wanted to see, there were some interviews. Oh, there we go.
Wife Renee Kimball, she's the one that put.
You're not alone. We're with you.
Oh.
Lindsay. We're here to support Lindsay and also all the women in America who's gone through our healthcare system and has been diminished and let down.
Get it, girl. Love it.
Get them.
Why is she holding a turkey flag?
Okay,
Why is she?
Healthcare system, I'm saying that.
Oh, it's for all the world. They're all holding world flags.
They failed her.
They failed her. They sure did.
I have a question, a philosophical question.
Yeah.
And this is, again, why I think this case is important. I'm not saying anything bad here about anybody's political views.
Yeah.
But how many people in this crowd, what percentage of people in this crowd do you think would vote against a Democratic Socialist candidate who would try to pass universal health care?
80% of this crowd.
And this is like, and I'm not saying that that's the best policy or whatever, but like the idea that people are looking at the healthcare system, blaming the healthcare system, and seeing that there's a systemic issue. All I can do is hope that whatever candidate it is, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Socialist, whatever, who will do the best job on making healthcare better. I hope that everybody here has this in mind when they're making choices at the ballot box someday, because this is the issue here, is the complete neglect of our healthcare system for everybody. Like, it's bad for everyone, and it's particularly bad for women. It's particularly bad for women of color. That's a thing that we know. The data says it. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. So let's watch a little bit more of this, and then we'll get to Kevin Reddington's interview.
Hi.
I feel like I hear Rosemary Scapicchio. Oh no, it was that lady. They sound the same.
No, I hear her too. Because you said something about being recognized.
It's the woman with the dark hair that we just went past who was being recorded, filmed. But she sounded just like Rosemary Scapicchio.
This is the most potato camera.
I was devastated.
This woman.
You want to say something? We don't have too many men saying anything.
Oh, I love this.
Oh,
I'm
what a
here supporting
cutie.
My wife, Renee Kimball, she's the one that put this all together.
Oh.
I'm the man that holds it.
He's holding the purse.
All right. Anything else you want to say?
I'm here to support Mrs. Clancy, too, and hopefully she gets
the
help she needs and justice.
Oh. I don't know why that makes my heart warm, but it does.
I'm from Acushnet, Mass. My name
Acushnet.
is Amy. I'm also a mental health worker for 15 years.
Get
and
it,
I'm here
Amy.
to support Lindsay, her children, and I hope she gets the help she needs. Massachusetts failed her, and we need to stand and show people that mental illness is a serious thing, and more women need support.
Word. Word.
This is great.
Isn't it amazing?
Is this law and crime?
It is law and crime, and it was before
crime.
It was before the trial started today.
What do you think of those who are upset that this happened because it allegedly caused a disruption in the proceedings and potentially,
I think that the reason why those people are upset that this happened is for the same reason they're upset because all these women are showing up and because the facts are being laid out in front of them on the internets, and they want to label her a monster and they want to put her in prison, and they want, it's like Mama Llama. It's those folks and the people who are believing the conspiracy theories. Did you see the text I sent you that the New Yorker even though they did that amazing article. I haven't read it yet, so don't get me wrong, but the New Yorker is now covering the conspiracy surrounding.
Well, yeah, they're doing great coverage of this whole thing. They really are. This is classic petitioning activity. So I understand that even like pro Clancy people who are worried this will somehow disrupt the trial and hurt her, her civil rights. It's these people's rights as citizens of the United States of America to show up outside a court and talk about political issues and talk about systemic issues and support somebody. Like, this is 100% their First Amendment right, and they're doing it peacefully and quietly and thoughtfully. And I just think it's absolutely fantastic. I think it's completely fantastic.
Andrea said, it makes me crazy that the quote unquote other side thinks anyone who supports Lindsay is not thinking about her babies. The whole point is that they would still be here, but for her sad excuse for care. Agreed. And Jay Sand said, I'm late. I'm a member in a members only. Kim said she loved the mob reference.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I hope I hope she knows it was said with respect and love. But seriously, I think she might be mobbed up.
She might be mobbed up. She might. Because everyone's like,
I don't want Kim to not like me. That would be the worst.
I don't want Kim to not like me. I don't know Kim, and I don't want her to not like me either.
I don't want anyone to not like me except for the people that I want to not like me.
I don't care. I mean, normally I don't care. I'm like, it's your business, not mine, what you think of me. But I don't want Kim to not like me. Okay, let's see a little bit more of this, and then we'll get to the Reddington interview. There was another woman interviewed that I saw that looked interesting. I mean, this crowd's pretty big. There's like,
it is pretty big,
or not thousands, but maybe
a clarion call.
Yeah, I love this. I love it. And I wonder, what my question is I don't give a shit what the other side of this thinks. What do the prosecutors think? Are they realizing how shitty they are? Are they realizing that people hate them because of, I mean, even today with the,
we'll talk about it. Kavanaugh. We're talking about that today, right? We're talking about that today.
What the frig is wrong with you, lady? Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
I think I stood in line for jury duty here.
I think I stood in line for jury duty here. I just want to hear what's going on in the crowd. But P.S. guys, this is what I talked about this morning. When I was talking about having my little psychotic break on Prozac. This is what my brain sounded like. Standing in the quad in my college, I could hear everyone's conversations as if, I thought I could anyway, but this is what it sounded like. It was making me crazy. Oh, I think Reddington's coming. Look at this crowd. Reddington is coming. He's a friggin' hero. Look at this.
I mean, can I hit pause?
Yeah.
I want to be a little measured about this. Okay. He's a lawyer doing a job, and he's doing it very well.
He's an advocate, though, as well.
Well, he's also represented people who've committed sexual assault and stuff. He's a lawyer doing a job. I just want to make sure that we don't do the thing where we make somebody perfect and lionize them when they just happen to be really good at their job. We have a thing in this country right now. It's like, I call it competence porn. This is why we like movies like The Martian and Project Hail Mary. It's because there's so much incompetence around us that when we see incredible competence, it is so attractive to us. And, he was hired to do this job and he's crushing it. But I don't know if I would go with the hero route. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with folks who say that. I am more like, because we don't know who he's going to be defending after this.
No, we don't. But what I'll say about this is that he may be just taking on a job, but at the same time, the first person he involved in this case was Zizelle.
Zizelle is incredible.
Full well that Zizelle was going to go in there and establish a relationship with Lindsay and treat her well and care for her. And I think that based on the way that Reddington interacts with Lindsay, it's more of like a nurturing, like kind of father, grandfather kind of way about it, And I don't think that he just believes this case is a job. I think he does believe that he is standing up for women's health. And I do believe that he thinks that he believes that he is standing up for Lindsay and her sanity or insanity.
That one, yes. I
agree. I just think that because of that, because we can all see how much he cares. And I think that's what makes him a hero. I'm not saying that like he took this case on knowing that it was going to turn into this or anything. It's the people he lined up. It's Zizelle, it's Condi, it's working with Scapiccio. It's, you know, all these people that are bolstering this case and testifying and treating Lindsay like a human being are the people he chose and the people he chose to surround her with. And to me, that means that he is not only fighting for Lindsay Clancy, he's also, I think he is appalled by what happened to her. I think it's the mental health crisis. I mean, take the women thing out of it. It's the mental health crisis. I think that Kevin Reddington is personally appalled by the prescription industry and what they did to this woman. That's my personal opinion. So that's why I think of him as a bit of a hero. I don't like that he was Jen McCabe's lawyer. One Day at a Time said, it doesn't matter to me. I'm glad she got someone that was good. Yeah, I think
lawyer
it's great.
For hire. Even people we don't like deserve good lawyers. That's the whole point of defense
And
attorneys.
also, you saw those text messages that he sent to Turtle Boy, though, right?
Yeah, he's a fan.
So amazing. So amazing. Okay. Let's see this interview. There's an interview with a woman coming up, and then Reddington. I will show you that in just a moment.
You were good. You were good. I did too late. Oh, that's okay.
Oh,
Emotion's good. No trick questions. You can just say what you want to say. I won't even ask you any questions. You just tell me why you're here.
I know.
If you want to tell us your name, though, hang on 1 second.
So my part of my would say
Your name and you want to hold it?
No, it's fine.
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead.
My name is Jamila, and I'm here to bring like the awareness for women mental health.
oh.
Not just women mental health, but mental health in general.
You want to tell us what you think happened as far as the case is going?
I don't want to say what happened, but I can say that she was looking for help and she didn't get the help that she needed. She got downplayed. And
Okay, let's try to find.
I just want to say, does anyone know? Turtle Boy had a deposition today, not a hearing. There was a hearing today in one of the Karen Reed cases, and apparently it was a nothing burger. It was just literally the lawyers had nothing to say. He had a deposition today in this is not the case where he's a party. This is the O'Keefe's versus Karen Reed case and the restaurants. And he did a deposition to this morning at which he planned to evoke his Fifth Amendment privilege, as he should, because he's the subject of a criminal prosecution right now. But the question is whether or not they're going to let him do a blanket one or make him do it for every question. And I think I know the answer to that question. They just want him on video, invoking that privilege.
Yeah, because they want to be
for
able to
every
use it
single
against
question.
him.
Yeah,
Yep.
and they want their clients to be able to stare daggers at him. Like,
yep. And they want him to lose his cool, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're looking for.
I don't know what happened, but I'd be surprised to hear that he did that. He's been through this circus many times.
We've seen him testify. We saw him testify in the TRO with Meredith, and he was smart. He knew all the facts, and he gave it back as good as he got it, but he never went off the handle. So, okay, this is Kevin Reddington. He might be a little bit difficult to hear, so I'm going to mute myself. Rebecca, maybe we should mute yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
It's very moving for them. They don't forget it.
Mr. Reddington, what's your message to all these folks who are here today?
Thank you. That's all I can say. It's amazing.
We love you, Kevin.
Kevin, are you surprised at just how much attention this case has gotten? I mean, people are coming from Maine.
It's the message. It really is. It's the message that just has reverberated, throughout the whole country.
What is that
Reddington's
message?
fighting for women's rights.
No, I
for
don't.
healthcare.
I think that it's the mental health system. I hate to use the word health care because unfortunately in this case we can see it hasn't been health care, and I think that it shines a light on this issue. I mean, when a woman is going through what so many people do, and they go to a doctor, and the doctor says, here, take this pill, take that pill, take this pill, and then they basically treat them for 15, 20 minutes and send them on their way. It's just not right.
And to those who can't wrap their heads around sympathizing with a mother who killed her 3 children, what do you say to them?
I think it's almost like when you're picking a jury, and sometimes somebody will say, well, I don't agree with, this allegation of murder. I mean, none of us do. But that's what we have juries for. They pass between the government and the defendant to see if they can prove their case.
Is she aware of this support, and what does she think of this?
I'm going to go in and see her right now. I'm sure that she is, and if she isn't, she will be.
What do you think about?
She's so beat up and just so sad. But this will really help her out, I think. It's awesome.
Tell her we love her. What do you think about you being the advocate for all women right now?
I'm not an advocate.
You are. But you are.
Look, there's Bob. Do you see Bob? That's Bob Motto right there, everybody. Did you see our little friend Bob? He's right there with the beard.
I did. I think I've been.
You can hear his accent even.
Yeah. Bob. That was really interesting.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy. I mean, we're only seeing this one side of him, so I don't know his whole life. I don't know, but he seems like he cares about his people. He cares about his clients. Cares about his family. I like him a lot.
He cares about bringing up the best expert witnesses I've ever seen in any trial.
He's got good witnesses.
Oh my God. Today's witness was
I
the
know.
chaplain at the hospital, Sheila Kavanaugh.
Do you want to go right to her?
Yes. I have never seen a witness like this, ever. So this is a woman, we can just play a sample of what she had to say, but she is a board certified chaplain in these hospitals in Boston. And she used to be a vice president at Fidelity, I believe she said. She was like a high-powered financial person who had a career change and decided to become a chaplain. And her job, she's not ordained. Her job is to sit, comfort, attend to the spiritual needs of people who need that. I mean, that's kind of what the hospital chaplains do. And for those who are curious about why this question came up the other day, and I did, I talked to a lawyer friend and got a good explanation for it. Why it is that witnesses like her and like, who do we see the other day who did this too, are allowed to say what Clancy said to them and have it not be hearsay. It has to do with the fairness doctrine. So as you may have noticed today with this witness, there was an objection that was sustained every single time she started talking about somebody else talking to her and what they said. But she can talk about what Lindsay said to her. It's called the fairness doctrine because they will not have the chance to cross-examine Lindsay Clancy. So getting her statements from other people, it's one of the reasons. Getting the statements from other people is important. So it's called an admission by a party opponent is what it's called. And it's non-hearsay. It's defined as non-hearsay. It's not an exception to hearsay. It's called non-hearsay. So thank you to my lawyer friend who probably isn't watching this and won't, for explaining that to me. Because I read about it, but I wanted to be able to explain it like in a sentence. So anyway, that's why she can say what Lindsay said to her.
And Bailey Love says, Rebecca, I hope you come to Mass for Aidan's trial if it actually gets that far.
I plan to. As long as I have the time, I plan to.
Carrie, I am with you on this one. She kind of creeped me out too. But I think that's just because, I don't know, it was the hair, the makeup, the voice, and also it's a very religious conversation, and I'm not. So I felt uncomfortable, I guess, with everything. She made me a little uncomfortable.
I understand that, but she's not. I mean, this is not about you, Mel. I think that for folks who can't relate to this, I think it's important to remind everybody that people who are spiritual, religious, they have needs in that area. And her job is to fulfill some of those needs. And she did not overtly talk much about religion. She talked about being there to witness her grief, being there to, listen to her. And what she had to say was great evidence. There
was that one moment though, where and this was great evidence, but it also like made me feel weird because I was almost like, well, so basically the testimony was that Lindsay was a little bit more lucid. And this was, I think, when right after she had been extubated, and she said, "I'm just glad to know my children are safe."
Yes. Delusional.
And this woman responded with, "Your children are safe. They're in heaven with God." And I thought, I don't know
But
if
that's what Lindsay needs. But Lindsay is Catholic. So that's an appropriate response for Lindsay Clancy. It would be an inappropriate response for you or I. It's a completely appropriate response. And she knew that Lindsay was Catholic. Like she'd been, she'd been briefed. So she is trained. She explained this today. She's trained in across religions to sort of understand faith broadly and respond in kind. So I think that I think that was appropriate for that person in that situation.
Ray of Sunshine, Lindsay is more than likely not going to testify. I don't think that he's going to call her, and I don't think she'll take the stand.
Melanie Little was talking about interesting thing today. She talked about two interesting things. One was her audition for the show Jury Duty. Very, very interesting story. Second was she was talking about all the cases where women who suffer from postpartum psychosis, there's a religious element to it. That was the case, I believe, in the Andrea Yates case. There was that case with the Amish woman who killed her 8 children, who, because the prosecutor was not these people, and then ended up having a bench trial that was barely a trial. And, she was found not guilty by reason of mental defect or whatever that state statute is there. And I think it's in Ohio. But how the postpartum psychosis, the voices that, that can lead women to do this, very often have a religious element to them, that they are told that the kids need to go to heaven, that the kids will be God's hands, that the kids will be. And that's just a really interesting pattern that makes me wonder what people who aren't religious hear when this happens. You know what I mean? It's just, anyway.
Science and Sass says, it's not an admission by a party opponent when elicited by the defense. It's not hearsay because Lindsay's comments go to her mental state,
Correct.
which is in question. In
That's
trial.
also true. That's also true. But she is also not testifying. So there's no way to get this evidence in aside from to ask somebody else.
The other Emily says that freeze frame makes it look like she's giving the clerk a high five. And
she's like,
my freeze game is on point, y'all. You should know that by now. Did the witch ask her if she knew it was a mortal sin?
Nope. She asked her even stupider questions than that.
Stupider questions. Way stupider. Okay. Holly and Johnny, member for 2 months. Hi, loves. I believe this lady is a beautiful soul. Good. I'm glad to hear your thoughts. I'm glad you've been a member for a couple months. It's amazing. Thank you. Mel doesn't understand the Catholic faith at all. The other day, she was discussing that Catholics don't believe mental illness is a thing. So I'm not surprised that she doesn't get that either.
That's Scientologists.
Pretty sure I didn't say that like that. Maybe I was like, maybe I was talking about older Catholics. Like, I think it was more about, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I did say that, but, I'm thinking of like an older generation of people who don't believe in mental health, who don't believe in mental illness. So, but also I'm not Catholic. And I'm
also
not really
Tom Cruise
Christian.
told America that postpartum depression wasn't real and that drugs are bad. So
yeah,
we mainstreamed that crap.
Okay, I'm gonna play this for you guys, and Rebecca, I just have to run to the bathroom really quick.
And you have to speed it up because she is a slow talker.
Oh my god, I watched it on 2 speed today.
Yeah, you can do it easily on 2.
I'm gonna put it at 1.5 because she's a slow ass talker.
We'll take a little watch while you go and do your business.
Do you want to get into her education and all that, or do you want me to get right into the testimony?
Get right into the testimony because she obviously had this incredible background, former finance VP. Now she's this, and I think I explained all that, so we don't need to hear it again. We don't need to echo lead that.
Before we go to a national board and they make the assessment.
Okay, so that's her education.
Keep in mind that's her twice as fast as she normally talks. And that actually sounds quite normal.
Yeah.
Morning, she said to me, "Did you hear the news?" And I.
Okay. So.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Hold on, I'll back it up. Let me put the. Oh,
no, that was her. That was her things that were stricken when she was talking about showing up and seeing all the cops.
While I was in graduate school, she was a 14-year-old girl from Bogota, Colombia.
And how long have you been working now as a chaplain at Brigham and Women's Hospital?
7 years.
In the course of your duties as a chaplain at Brigham and Women's Hospital, did circumstances bring you in contact with Lindsay Clancy?
Yes, they did.
Can you tell the jurors what happened?
I arrived on the morning of Wednesday, January 25th, 2023. I arrived at approximately 8:30 that morning because I was there to relieve the overnight chaplain who was carrying the pager. I was taking over the pager shift, which went from 9 to 1 p.m., although I was working a full day. When I arrived that morning, she said to me, "Did you hear the news?" And I...
Okay, so sustain. Okay. So you can't, you got no objection.
Unfortunately, I can't pause this to talk about it. Oh, wait. What just happened?
Say what someone told
Oh,
you. Okay, that's
when I started talking,
so I can
that's
say,
incredible.
as a result of the conversation with that person, what happened?
I was summoned to the director of spiritual care's office.
You had a conversation with her?
I did.
All right. And as a result of that conversation, what did you do?
I went to Unit 8C in the Tower building of Brigham to meet with Lindsay Clancy.
And what time of day was this?
Roughly between 8:30 and 9:30 that morning.
And when you went in to see Lindsay, what did you observe?
Well, the unit itself was filled with law enforcement officers, both outside the doors of the unit. There was Brigham security, but the unit itself was flooded. There were people from Plymouth County, Boston City Police, Brigham security. So I had to make my way through concentric circles of law enforcement to even get to the room. I was permitted to see Lindsay, although she could not speak at that time.
And what was her condition that you observed?
She was dressed in medical armor. She had tubes. She was intubated. She had bandages. She had a neck brace. She was just covered and layered in equipment that enabled her to breathe.
I'm showing you Exhibit 121 and asking, this may be South Shore, or it could be Brigham Women's, but is this indicative of what she appeared to be when you first saw her?
That looks like it's from South Shore because when, yes.
Did she have the same?
Similar.
Very similar?
Very similar. Yes, very similar.
For those who can't see it, it was a picture of Lindsay in the hospital with all of her stuff on.
Again, she could not speak. She was intubated as well. That was the first week that she was hospitalized.
When was the next time that you saw her?
The next time I saw her was the following week. I have a calendar here of my visits. I saw her on Tuesday, January 31st, and she had been extubated at that point so she could speak.
So the tube had been removed. She was able to communicate, and that was on January 31st?
I believe she was extubated the weekend of the 28th, but I didn't work that weekend, so I saw her on Tuesday, the 31st.
All right. Tell the jurors what you observed and what, if any, conversation you had with Lindsay on the 31st. And let me ask you, how long had it been that they removed the tube?
Perhaps a day or two.
A day or two. Okay. Tell the jurors what she said to you.
She continued to look like the photograph you just saw. She was covered, tubes everywhere, the neck brace. Her emotional state was very neutral, a flat affect. But I remember vividly the first thing she said to me. Now, she had heard me for a couple of days. We had been praying together. And so when I went in on Tuesday, the 31st, she said to me as I held her hand to comfort her, "I am so glad my children are safe."
Was there any other conversation that you had with her?
I replied theologically to Lindsay, and I said, "Lindsay, your children are safe. They're safe in heaven with God." And I held her hand throughout that conversation, and we prayed for them.
That's the training she received. She talks about that earlier.
She did. She alluded to having heard a voice. And the voice, according to Lindsay, told her that if she did not follow the command, neither she nor her children would be safe.
And did she indicate whether it was a male voice, a female voice, loud, soft?
She alluded to the fact that it was a male voice and it was persistent.
Any further conversation that you recall about that, not about general things, but you know?
That came up several times. I visited Lindsay minimally 14 times while she was hospitalized at the Brigham, and the voice conversation came up several times during several of our visits.
Same, Lady Harlot, same.
After Lindsay was transferred or cleared to go from Brigham and Women's Hospital, did she go to another facility?
Okay, I just want to pause this. I want you guys to hear this on regular speed for just a second.
Just for a second so you can understand.
Oh, God.
She did. She went to Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital.
And do you know when that was?
That, honestly.
That was roughly...
She is a lovely, amazing human being, and I'm so glad she was there for Lindsay. And that
you got to 2 times it. You got to 2 times it with her.
Like praying for her, taking care of her, meeting with her over 200 times, just like lovely and beautiful and amazing. But if I woke up to that woman speaking to me, I would think that I was hallucinating or in hell.
Lindsay already knew what happened to the kids. So that's answers to that question. Yeah. Okay. Wish she hadn't used alluded to if Lindsay said it outright. So the thing to understand, and she explains this in her testimony, is that she is not there as a legal advocate.
Well-
She is not there as a medical advocate. She's there to provide comfort to the patient. So there is, I don't know if they signed away privilege between her and her spiritual person, because there is inherent privilege there, but she wrote down certain things that Lindsay said that she thought were notable, but she did not quote her, and she is not directly quoting her, and she talks about that, but she does remember the conversations and she knows what they were. So
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the cross here, because
let's go to the cross, shall we?
Jeez. Okay.
And we have
And
to
I
do
think
a fast speed because I can't listen to that lady talk either.
it's Sprague.
Do both of them have like seasonal allergies? They both like sniffle and
I think they're both in the smoking club with Lally.
and they also sound exactly the same. If they would be terrible audio podcast partners because they sound exactly the same.
Yes, Jennifer Coolidge will play her in the movie. Absolutely. Yes. Perfect casting. Okay. Lady Harlot is coming in with a zinger. She makes me laugh so hard. She said her speaking is the verbal representation of someone running underwater.
Yes, that's very, very good. That's very good.
About on January 25th, 2023, when you first saw Lindsay in direct examination, and you said that there were a lot of police officers in the area, correct?
Correct.
But you mentioned that some of them were security personnel from the hospital, correct?
Correct.
And you're aware that the security personnel for the hospital don't work for the state police, the Duxbury Police, or the Plymouth County DA's office, correct?
Correct.
So they're separate and apart from law enforcement, correct?
Yes.
And then are you also aware that on January 25th, 2023, there was a search warrant being executed to collect evidence from the defendant and from the belongings that she had at the hospital?
No, I was not aware of that.
Were you aware that that collection of the search warrant required state police and personnel from the crime lab to be present for the collection of evidence?
I was not aware of that.
Were you aware that following that, at any given time, there were only two officers, either Duxbury Police, State Police, or Plymouth County Sheriffs, at her room, the defendant's room, at any given time?
I do recall that.
And they were stationed outside of her room, correct, in the hallway?
Yes.
You
So that
liar.
the only time you saw this large amount of officers present was on the 25th, when there were security from the hospital.
Again, what is the point? What are
The
they
point of
trying
this
to
is to
prove?
try to discredit her, make her look like a liar. That's the only point of this.
They're going to try to convince this jury that's probably pretty religious. I mean, at least majority religious, that
Some, yeah, for sure.
a religious woman would lie about the police being in. I mean, come on, like they do not know how to read any room that they are in.
No, their whole thing is about her final question is wild. That's the one that really got me.
Yeah.
Hospital and search warrants being executed, correct?
Perhaps.
Now, you mentioned that on January 31st, 2023, you spoke to the defendant, and she told you that she heard a voice telling her that if she did not follow the command, neither she nor her children would be safe, correct?
Correct.
You wrote very detailed notes that are contained in the Brigham and Women's Hospital records regarding your interactions with Lindsay Clancy, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And in all of these notes that detail every time you interacted with her, you never once wrote that she told you she heard a voice or what that voice said, correct?
Correct.
And you also said that this voice, talking about the voice, came up in several of your meetings, correct?
Correct.
And you never once wrote about any of it in any of your very detailed notes, correct?
Well, chaplain notes are not verbatim transcripts of patient conversations. I'm not there to evaluate the patient. I'm there to bear witness to their suffering.
Okay, but the question was, you did not document those statements in your notes, correct?
Correct.
But you did document some other statements in those notes, correct?
Perhaps.
For example, on February 6th, 2023, in a note that you wrote regarding your interaction with the defendant, you said that, or you wrote, Lindsay welcomed the visit and shared her fears of, quote, not being able to walk again, end quote. She continued to express her fears of how her inability to walk may make her vulnerable to others in the future. Do you recall writing that?
Yes.
Do you recall writing on February 9th, 2023?
One of the reasons why I can't speed up the frickin' frack over here is because when Sprague gets nervous, she starts talking faster and her voice shakes. Or when she thinks she's going to have some big aha moment, her voice shakes and she gets all nervous. Exactly. One day at a time, says Mel, what if Brian Higgins was the chaplain? Who would you prefer go at your bedside? Higgins. Oh, show. Higgins would probably bring me like a cheeseburger or something.
I don't know. You
You
just
know?
might type.
Exactly. I'm just your type.
That the defendant was sitting in a chair adjacent to her bed and appeared to be visibly engaged, energized, and hopeful than in previous visits. Do you recall that?
Yes.
You also wrote in that note, Lindsay spoke hopefully of being discharged when the time arrives to Spalding, correct?
Correct.
And then in February 13th, 2023, you wrote in your note that Lindsay also expressed hopefulness in relation to her physical progress. She feels she has gained considerable physical strength and agility despite an inability to move her legs. She admitted that she feels, quote, deserving of this, end quote, in light of recent events. Do you remember writing that?
Yes.
Do you remember on February 16th, 2023, that you wrote in a note that the defendant expressed hopefulness with the news of her anticipated discharge to Spalding and seemed uplifted that she would be cared for in a facility with an excellent reputation?
Yes.
She thinks everything is a mic drop.
I know. You can
February
hear
16th,
it.
2023, that Paula, the defendant's mother, and Lindsay, the defendant, were playing a card game as they communed quietly, and that Lindsay expressed hopefulness with the news of her anticipated discharge to Spalding and seemed uplifted.
Yes.
And again, you've got all these details about her feelings and her thoughts and what she's doing, but nothing about the voices that you spoke of so many times, correct?
Correct.
And speaking of Spalding, you continue to visit her at Spalding, correct?
Yes.
In those conversations with her at Spalding, did she tell you that how in those first weeks at Spalding, that part of her physical therapy, she was working out with a yellow exercise band?
Oh my God.
That's
Do
the
it,
one.
I don't
Rebecca.
recall her telling me that.
Did she tell you that during that
Wait,
time at
hold on,
Spalding,
hold on,
she reached
hold
out to a
on,
social
hold
worker there
on. You
and asked for
gotta-
help filling out
All right, I missed it. I
Spalding,
missed my
that part
chance.
of her physical therapy. In those conversations with her at Spalding, did she tell you that how in those first weeks at Spalding, that part of her physical therapy, she was working out with a yellow exercise band? No?
I don't recall her telling me that.
Did she tell you that during that time at Spalding, she reached out to a social worker there?
I hit pause.
What an absolute cunt. I just
Well-
don't understand.
Remember the case that they were trying to make that she hated Colin the most? Now we're not going to get into what the
No,
details
no,
of
no,
it.
Dawson.
But the color, oh, Dawson, yeah. Dawson, yeah. The color is significant as it relates to that argument. But everybody who's ever been to a gym or done rehab knows that every exercise band of a different color is a different resistance. And do you think that a paraplegic woman who is doing rehab just so she can live somewhat functionally despite everything that she knows happened and everything that she knows she did, do you think she would be like, you know, I prefer the yellow one with the 12 pounds of resistance, please? That's the one I would like to use today. No, it's the physical therapist that picks the bands. Everybody knows that. And actually, I think it was kind of cruel that they made her use those in her rehab, but they probably weren't thinking about it. It's not like they were trying to be cruel, obviously.
God. By my bit said, Patrick had to untie bands. And also, there's no evidence the bands were tied. So just so we're all clear on that.
Just, yeah, their contradictions are amazing.
And asked for help filling out SSDI
Amazing.
paperwork to get an income.
That would be beyond the scope of our conversation.
She didn't tell you those things.
No.
Okay. Did you guys just hear what she asked?
Yes.
She said she basically just told the jury this woman was trying to make money while she was in the hospital.
Right. Meanwhile, she was
that's
just
how
trying to
she
get on
presented it.
disability, right? She was trying to get on disability.
Well, Reddington's going to cover it. He gets real pissed off about this testimony.
Oh, yeah. As he should.
Did she tell you that during that time at Spalding, she reached out to a social worker there and asked for help filling out SSDI paperwork to get an income?
Oh my God.
That would be beyond the scope of our conversation.
She didn't tell you those
fucking
things.
assholes.
Thank you.
So, counsel has asked you about her filling out the form for SSDI. Are you aware of what expenses her family and
Thank
were
you.
incurring as a result of her physical incapacity, paralysis, and being in the hospital?
From my experience with thousands of patients, I had a very clear idea of the enormous expense.
There's a difference between, as the district attorney very appropriately referred to, that your comments were about her thoughts and her appearance and her feelings. Is that correct?
Correct.
There's a difference, however, between privileged communications with a chaplain and observations of a person's feelings and thoughts, correct?
Correct.
Tell the jury what effect privileged communication has when someone talks to you personally as a chaplain.
Because I'm not a medically trained clinician, I approach patients in a vortex of trust. Some of our chaplains at the Brigham are ordained clergy. And so there's this understanding that when a patient interacts with a chaplain, the conversations are confidential.
Do you put them in medical records?
No.
The words, like Lindsay indicated that she felt uplifted. I think the counsel read that twice. Were those your notes, or is that what she said to you? Did she say, I feel uplifted? Or is that
That
your
was my
observation?
perception of Lindsay. It was not her words.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Como?
You said you're not allowed to put the defendant's words in your medical records. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct. It's not that I'm not allowed. It's an understanding, and it's a conversation that's held in confidence with the patient.
Did she even listen to the answer the woman
No.
just gave?
They never listen. They just can't wait to get in their next thing, you know? They're
direct
just
quotes in these
waiting to drop the mic over and over
medical
again.
records from the defendant.
Well, they're not verbatim transcripts.
No, not a transcript of the whole conversation, but you put phrases in quotes. For example, on February 6, 2023, where it says Lindsay welcomed the visit and shared her fears of, quote, not being able to walk again. So those were
sneaky.
her words in your note, in quotes, in the medical record, correct?
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
I use my best judgment.
I move to have you submitted as the next exhibit, the notes of the witness in her.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. May sit down.
So that was actually, there was a little bit of a charge conference hearing that happened a little bit later on in the day.
That was the end of testimony for today. It was what you're trying to say, right? So I don't think you finished that sentence.
Yeah, sorry. That was the end of testimony for the day. They dismissed the jury. They had a very short hearing about a charge conference. And I didn't understand a lot of it because I'm not a lawyer, but when I was listening to Ali Mata explain it, who Ali was pissed. We should actually, in order for our audience to understand it, I actually want to show Ali's stream.
Yeah. One of the things while you're looking for that to know is that the day started kind of strangely with them polling all of the jurors. And then there's been rumors that a couple of jurors were dismissed. That's not confirmed as far as I know. I haven't seen it confirmed anywhere, but they re-swore them in. They pulled them all and re-swore them in. And it's unclear as to whether or not that's because a juror talked about another juror having some kind of misconduct or because of the protest outside. Nobody knows. And we shouldn't do too much speculation, but that is how the day started. And it took up quite a bit of time.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, the charge conference, some of the things that the prosecution wants on the verdict slip, like for them to be deciding between is, I mean, it's just ludicrous, I think. But I mean, I'll show it to you guys in a second here. Hold on. Gotta find the time code. You know, have you noticed that on YouTube, it takes a while for the ask button to show up after a video goes live?
And sometimes if a person doesn't share their transcript, there is no ask button. I've noticed I can't ask anything about any of Jess Machado's streams. I have to remember in my mind around where a certain thing was said if I desire to listen to it again, which I think I'm going to do with you Monday night on our cross roast. I'm going to make Mel watch some Jess Machado. It's going to be a really good time.
I can't. I mean, but those streams go on for hours.
Oh, we're just going to pick some choice clips. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I'm worried.
Some of those cross examinations went on for hours too, but we only got like 10 minutes into them. That was the whole thing.
You'd already seen all of those.
You just need a taste. You just need a little taste.
I don't need any kind of taste of Jess Machado. Gross. That probably tastes like sour whole milk. Sour whole milk.
Whole milk slander. Whole milk slander. Please like this video if you're here. There's more than 700 of you here. I would like it if you would like the video. Share it, maybe hype it after, maybe tell people we're live and they should join us. And subscribe if you're not subscribed.
Yes.
And consider becoming a member because our members only content is very popular. Very popular. And you'll get access to a whole back catalog of members only content if you become a member. Chat. How you doing, chat?
Chat. How you doing, chat? I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get to this part.
It's okay. I love the no T's at the end of the words. Chat. Chat. Yes, Jess Machado today says that she has no sense of smell, but refuses to believe in any way that it could be COVID, even though she clearly also has cold symptoms.
That means that she can't smell herself. So how does she know that she doesn't smell when everyone says she smells?
I don't know if that's true. That was just a funny rumor. If anyone has confirmation of that, that's a very important story the public should know about. Just kidding. But that's some of these rumors that come out, we kind of go with them because they're funny, but not because we necessarily know that they're true. Like
all I know is that people said she smelled. I mean, I didn't hear it from just one person. I heard it from a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I hate being the one defending her today, but I do like whole milk, is that some of her farts that Jolene plays again and again are clearly her going with her mouth, like very clearly. But it's funnier to say that she farted. A lot funnier.
Yes.
A lot funnier.
Let's take a look. Okay, so this is it wasn't really the full charge conference because I think what the judge is trying to do, he just wants to get an idea of what they're going to be looking for, and he wants to start putting together a rough draft of charging documents. So let's listen to how Ali talks us through this, because what Ali's talking about, well, you'll hear what the prosecution is asking for, and then Ali's like, that's bullshit. And I love Ali's energy in this segment. And also, this is Ali's kid. This is Cameron, who's been watching the stream for them when they're traveling.
Did you see Allie's reaction to the demonstration with the exercise bands? When she was like,
I did.
Neck and tie a knot.
I love her so much. I'm sorry, Bob. Allie's my favorite. Okay, here we go.
Delightful.
Thoughts are, and then I'll hear from the defendant.
So for individual instructions, we have listed opinion testimony, prior inconsistent and prior consistent statements, redactions. I don't think there are too many, but there were some on the death certificates, stipulations, and consciousness of guilt instruction.
No, there was none.
In terms of what we're looking for for the charges, we'd be looking for an instruction on first and second, with the theories of first being both deliberate premeditation and extreme atrocity and cruelty. In terms of the criminal responsibility instruction, we're asking that the instruction regarding intoxication not be given, because from our perspective, there's been no evidence of intoxication by drugs and or alcohol during the killings. There's testimony, and I think there'll be more testimony about the defendant taking pills after killing the children. And before killing the children, she was on low dose prescription, 10 milligrams of amitriptyline that was recently increased to 20 milligrams, but there's no real evidence of whether or not she actually increased that dose. And then it was a low dose of
this is the first time I just noticed this. This is the first time I've seen Lindsay looking over at the prosecutors.
And not just looking down at the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
acetone and a low dose of, I believe, Valium. So those were prescribed medications that she had reported no side effects from. And I believe in the text with her mother, she said that she was still waiting to actually feel effects from those. So there's no evidence of intoxication from those drugs. And then the only intoxication potentially could be when she took pills after killing the children.
Do you know what intoxication means, ma'am?
Low level amounts. So we're asking that the instruction on intoxication not be given.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I'm going to ask the defendant as well, because I did read through those. And I was trying to find the definition of intoxication as it applies in the homicide instructions. Most of the cases that I was able to find so far is dealing with the OUI statute, Chapter 90, and trying to find the real definition in regards to that. Is it the Commonwealth's position that
can't be
the intoxication is beyond what was the considered effect of the drugs? Because if you know what I'm saying, so if she takes, if a defendant, I don't mean to personalize it, if a defendant takes prescription drugs and it does create some effect, would that be considered intoxicated for the instruction?
I don't believe so. I think
I
in the
do.
instructions it talks about having being intoxicated to the point where it affects your state of mind or ability.
All right, you guys, I'm going to pause right here and share this with you because we've talked about it multiple times.
So Allie's basically going to take us through the definition statutes and show us exactly why the prosecutors are wrong in this situation. And we're going to listen then to Kevin Reddington's response to this, which I felt like could have been a little bit stronger, I'll be honest with you. But here we go.
Times. I talked about it yesterday in the live. I've got it right here and I'll help you understand what they are talking about and why. Okay. So where there is evidence that a defendant had, where the defendant, wait, what?
What?
Dad's texting.
Saying what?
That the testimony is done. And I'm like, wait, you don't mean forever. Like we know the testimony is done today. I don't know. So, I'll get right to the part that matters, okay?
Go make a sandwich.
But a mental disease or defect might be caused, oh no, this part doesn't matter, by a result of past chronic use of alcohol or drugs. Also, the consumptions of alcohol or drugs may trigger or intensify, that is, make worse, a defendant's pre-existing mental disease or defect. If it did so here, the mental disease or defect then caused the defendant to lose the substantial capacity to appreciate the wrongfulness, the criminality or wrongfulness of his conduct, or to conform his conduct to the requirements of the law, the defendant is not criminally responsible for his conduct. I have been wanting to see how the defendant is planning on using this or not, because I think it's helpful to the defense. I think it lays out exactly what this prosecution is trying to say. She didn't take the medicine like she's supposed to or something, and that made her well, I mean, I guess they're trying to deny she was worse at all, but if it was because of her own doing, because the way she took the medication, and that this is a case of first impression. That's why the judge is saying, I tried to do research. I couldn't find anything. I think this goes right to the heart of it, even though the wording might be completely different, that it depending on which way the state wants to put it, as far as did the taking of it or the not taking of it, because they want it both ways, right? So let's see I'm interested to see what the position is
the judge's conversation about this. I love it. I love the way he handled this.
Control yourself. I think intoxication, especially where there's not a specific definition given in the homicide instructions, I think you go to the general definition of intoxication, which would not just be taking medication as prescribed, but it would be over taking medication or combining with alcohol or other drugs. It's similar to the instructions in OUIs, operating under the influence of alcohol or drugs. I think you would have to go to that definition or to the general definition of intoxication if it's not specifically defined in the instructions. And I think the general definition of intoxication is taking some type of substance, either alcohol, drugs, medication, in excess into the
no. So what you do in the law is you go to the dictionary, and I just pulled up the actual, just regular definition of intoxication. Intoxication is a temporary state of physical and mental impairment resulting from the use of alcohol or drugs, or more broadly, a medical condition of poisoning by a toxic substance. It heavily alters brain function, judgment, coordination, and behavior. Okay, that's the actual definition.
Loser.
Merriam Dictionary says a condition of having physical or mental control markedly diminished by the effects of drugs and alcohol. Period. So bullshit and go to hell.
Bullshit and go to hell, says Allie.
I love her.
I think that because Allie said it, she go to hell now. She might actually go to hell because Allie deemed it so.
Well, not if
Allie manifests.
Rita Hayworth or whatever her name is still around. She's not going to hell.
Alcohol, drugs, medication in excess, and to the point where it's affecting your ability to think and to act.
Let's try to create a difference between drugs and medication.
So I've got opinion, prior, consistent, prior, inconsistent, redaction, stipulations,
Here comes
consciousness of guilt, first, second, extreme atrocity, deliberate premeditation, and the criminal responsibilities without the subparagraph, the paragraph regarding intoxication.
Right.
Okay, all right. Mr. Reddington?
I love this.
I don't know if the government has been listening to the same evidence in this case. This is clearly an involuntary intoxication defense, at least as far as the judge's charge to the jury, based upon the evidence that's been presented, whether or not it's what we would argue is the over prescription of the medications, whether or not it's the side effects of the medications, whether or not it's the titration or the termination or the immediate cessation of the medications against what normal medical advice would be. All of those factors contribute to the state of mind of Ms. Clancy that was expressed to a lot of people, family members, people that knew her. She had indicated, I think Ronna knows the evidence, repeatedly indicated that she was affected by the benzos. She was felt that she was being addicted to the benzos, trying to get off the benzos. She indicated that the sertraline was obviously killing her as far as going from 25 to 50 milligrams. And then subsequent to that, when there's additional SSRIs prescribed, to suggest that there's no basis to give the jury the instruction, they may determine based on the evidence that is as a result of the involuntary intoxication from narcotics, not alcohol, obviously, from the prescribed narcotics, not illegal drugs. So from the prescription drugs, that's on all fours with a valid defense that they should be instructed as it relates to involuntary intoxication.
Absolutely.
I think it's the model jury instructions on criminal responsibility. Obviously, if there's any nuances that I would pick up, I would bring that to the court's attention. But I have tried murder case recently with the model jury instructions, and my memory is that I was pretty satisfied. It was Judge O'Shea, I think, actually in this court a year ago, and I was satisfied with the instructions on lack of criminal responsibility. I would at some point ask the court to charge on involuntary manslaughter. I'd ask the court to charge on wanton conduct with a component of the impact of the intoxication. So you can't try this case in a vacuum. You can't present the case to the jury. I know the government would like to present the case only on cruelty and atrocity. They probably don't like the statute that allows a jury to determine the degree of murder, which would be first and second. But I think that the evidence is such that a jury should have the option.
Okay, can you hit pause? One thing to explain here is that the first degree murder is the charge we've been hearing about, but the jury can find her guilty on lesser charges.
Yes.
So this came into play obviously in the Karen Reed case. Karen Reed, she was not on trial for OUI, but the jury found her guilty of OUI. And that's what they're doing right now. They're negotiating what the jury will see. Reddington said what he doesn't want is the tree form that
Yeah.
if you think this, then check this, if this, then this. And that was the form that was in the Karen Reed case that the jury found
yeah.
so confusing. So
This
he
is the
doesn't want
form
that.
everybody in Massachusetts uses, Mr. Yannetti. You know
Right.
this.
Right. And he's basically arguing for there to be an involuntary manslaughter charge on there for a wanton, what is it called? Reckless and wanton charge there because of substance use. So he's basically arguing for that there should be some other lesser charges there that he sees as charges that potentially the jury might choose instead of first-degree murder were they to find her guilty. And obviously those charges would have very different consequences for Lindsay Clancy than a first-degree murder conviction. So
yeah. So this goes on for just a couple more minutes and then they end court for the day. They don't figure it out here. The judge is going to take their arguments into consideration. He's going to put together a draft of the charging documents. And from what it sounds like, Kevin Reddington plans to rest his case tomorrow. And then the Commonwealth will take over. The judge told the jury it's going to be a full day. So the defense will rest tomorrow. The Commonwealth will take over their rebuttal case, and they plan to bring 3 expert witnesses who, I mean, let me tell you, they're going to have to like really combat the experts that Kevin Reddington has put on, and they're going to have to like completely just wipe them off the face of the earth in order for any of that testimony to like go out the window. And I don't think that's going to happen. But the judge is saying that he's expecting Monday or Tuesday they should be doing closing arguments. So he was trying to set expectations, and he's like just, you guys know how this goes. It might take longer, so probably Tuesday, but possibly Monday. I mean, I'm sure Kevin Reddington is the one who asked the question. I'm sure he just was trying to get ready.
Yeah,
for his.
He's great. He's great. I mean, Bev Canoni acted so bored during the second trial, and she kept saying, "Are we going to hurry this along? Are we going to waste the jury's time?" What she meant was her time.
Yeah. Yes.
Because the jury's there to try a case. This case is clearly fascinating. But I mean, the Karen Reed case was clearly fascinating.
Yeah.
And the idea that the jury shouldn't be able to hear everything because we're wasting their time, which she only started saying in earnest all the time when the defense's case in chief was being presented. So
exactly.
It's like, she's like, I don't want to hear all this again.
Yeah. So I would expect we're going to see closings probably Tuesday next week. So yeah, that's where we're at. I had planned to come on tomorrow to cover what we're actually covering right now. So I don't know if maybe I might just actually watch trial tomorrow. I'm not
Take the day off. Yeah. Just watch the trial. Take the day off.
No, I meant with the audience.
Yes. Oh, I see. I
might watch the trial. Because I do have to go to tennis this weekend, but shall we move on to some Karen Reed adjacent stuff?
Sure. This is very hard to read from here. So I have another screen I could share it from, but I will just go ahead and tell you about it. So there is in the Aidan Kearney criminal case, he's being prosecuted for these instances of witness intimidation and so forth. He is asking in a new motion that his cell phone data, that they put a pause on the taint teams, the so-called taint teams working. The taint team is the one who goes through all this data and decides what's privileged, what's not privileged, what's relevant, what's not relevant, et cetera. That they put a pause on all the things having to do with his cell phone, because in Massachusetts there is a reporter shield law that is very likely to pass, that is currently in the legislature's hands.
Finally.
And they're basically saying, if this law passes, they won't be allowed to, they're arguing, if this law passes, this will be illegal. He will be shielded, not illegal, but he will be shielded. So this evidence won't be able to be used. They've asked to put a pause on that. Yeah. So that's a very interesting development there. I'm keeping an eye on it. There's a very strange noise coming from outside. It sounds like a meteor falling in my neighborhood.
I was like, what is that sound?
I think it was the brakes on a giant truck that was down the hill. I live on a giant hill. There's an apple orchard up the top, and then the hill's like this in the way down. And I live higher than the apple orchard, so you look down on the road. So that was one thing I wanted to talk about, because obviously there's no reporter shield law in Massachusetts,
right?
Which is wild to me, considering that it's such a lib state. Like, well, not really. It's a Democrat state, but not a lib state.
The whole Revolutionary War and shit. Yeah.
It's
Boston
kind of
Tea
wild.
Party. Yeah. It's crazy.
And for those who don't know, Reporter Shield law basically protects the work product of a journalist from being brought into legal proceedings, with rare exception. So my news outlet got sued by this guy a couple years ago. He asked for the reporter's notes on the story about which he was suing us. And the judge said, yes, but he can't see them. I will review them in camera, which is very unusual. And the ACLU joined NHPR in appealing that ruling, whatever. But anyway, he ended up reviewing all the notes in camera and we ended up winning. So it was fine. But that with so there's no law like that in Massachusetts as of now, but it looks like there may be very soon.
Good. They definitely need it for sure.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have? Hold on a second. There were a couple of other things. I don't know.
We
if
have
we're
an
gonna get to
order
Higgy
from
today.
That's okay. We have an order from Judge, and we should change the title of the video. We have an order from Judge Gildea on. Do you remember that Karen Reed was trying to get the Ham defendants' lawyers to delete the quote accidentally disseminated entire phone extraction of hers? So she wants protective order, all this stuff. Gildea put out an order today saying that he would like to see all of the correspondence within the NCDAO and state police around this. So he wants to see, so it looks like he wants to see how this sausage got made.
Right.
And so he didn't rule on the issue yet, but he's asked for some material so that he can. And what he's asked for honestly looks pretty good for Karen in terms of how he's thinking about it. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Let's talk really quickly. That was the only other thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, one other thing I want to ask you.
Oh, wait. We were talking about. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've seen a lot of talk from attorneys, like good attorneys, not just law tubers, but I'm not saying law tubers aren't good attorneys. I'm saying that law tubers, I'm acutely aware of the fact that law tubers know they are talking to an audience when they're on Twitter and when they're on their show. So they are absolutely bringing their completely valid legal expertise, but there's also an element sometimes of showmanship to it, which is fine. That's why we watch them. But sometimes and other attorneys will weigh in online. And Mark Garagos, very famous Mark Garagos, weighed in on this sin question from the prosecution the other day, asking Patrick Clancy's mother if she knew murder was a mortal sin. And he believes that they were trying to throw the trial with a mistrial.
That is what I've been saying. What I've been saying. There's no other reason. Every attorney that has covered this that I've watched has been like, this is lawyering 101. We know we are not allowed to impeach witnesses using their religion. We can't infect the jury with religion. We can't ask them if they're making decisions based on religion. You just can't do it. And the fact that the whole entire lay audience gasped at that moment and lawyers are saying, you know better, absolutely leads me to believe they were trying to throw the case right there and get a mistrial. And I think that actually Reddington is actually playing a little bit of 3D chess here, because I think he knew that. And that's why he didn't ask for a mistrial, because he wants this to go through to a conclusion and he wants the jury to find her not guilty. I think he's going for not guilty.
I think so too. I loved his answer to that question outside of court.
Yeah.
Are you going to make a motion for mistrial? And he goes, why would I want to go through all this again?
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Thank you, Emily, for the $4.99. Rebecca, check your DMs. I sent you some clips to show Mel right now. I'm not showing her them now. I'm showing her them in our Monday members only. By the way, speaking of members only, I've heard a couple of creators say a thing that, to my understanding, is not true. I actually don't care. I don't care super much for us, but there's this notion that you can on your stream replay someone's members only content if it started as a public stream. All the research I says you're not allowed to do that. And YouTube locks that for a reason, and you're not allowed to do that. So I looked at the terms of service. I asked Gemini, which knows everything about Google. And the answer that I received about that was pretty clear. I don't think I have it up, but it was basically no, even if it started as public, the members only is members only. So I've heard Jolene say that. I heard J7 say that. Apparently she paid some of I heard Jessica say it this morning. So apparently that's actually not something you're allowed to do. So if folks are tempted to do that, I would just make sure And then let me know if you can find documentation of
You're
that.
talking about like if a member is watching our stream and they clip it and they give it to another content creator and then that person plays it, like J7 played our stuff
right
in their stream.
Right.
That's
You can't
TOS
stream somebody
violation.
else's members only content. You can't. Because it's members only content and YouTube protects that. So that's against terms of service. But there's a rumor that you can do that if the stream started public. And I don't think that's true. I did like an hour worth of research into it today and I couldn't find any documentation of that. So if somebody has that, somebody looking at different terms of service than I am, just send me it and I'd love to read it.
Science and Sass, I just want to read this comment out and then disagree slightly. Science and Sass says, but a mistrial due to the government's actions means a mistrial with prejudice, no redo. I'm confused by Reddington's response that he'd have to do this again. I don't think it's a guaranteed with prejudice.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah. Can you look that up for me?
Yeah.
I think that I'm thinking of the Alec Baldwin case.
That was mistrial with prejudice, yeah.
It was with prejudice, but I feel like the judge said their reasoning for it was
okay. I have an answer.
Opinion. Okay.
I have an answer. Okay. When retrial is allowed without prejudice, accidental or reckless errors, if the prosecutor makes a mistake, violates a rule, or elicits inadmissible evidence through negligence, bad judgment, or simple overzealousness, it is regular misconduct. The case is called Oregon v. Kennedy. A mistrial caused by government actions does not automatically mean a mistrial with prejudice. So in intentional provocation, so if the judge believed they intentionally did that, provoked that, which he could, because it was clearly a prepared question.
But how do you prove intention? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Right. That would be up to the judge. I mean, that's why he has the word judge in front of his name. He gets the judge.
Lori, we also start our members only lives for non-members, but
we learned that from Gildea.
Become a member and you can come watch us.
Yeah. It's really
that's
good.
why Rebecca goes, we're going members only.
Yeah. We're making fun of Gildea. Not making fun of him. It's an homage. It's a tribute. We're the Gildea's tribute band. That's why I put the bricks behind me.
Tall red text. Yes, YouTube does mark members only, but it's not marked members only unless we, the creator, choose it to be members only from the get-go, and we don't. Because
it becomes members only if you make it private. It does.
Yes, if you make it private. What I'm saying is it doesn't pop up as members only until we say it's members only.
Correct.
Which means 10-15 minutes into our stream, when I click over and say this is no longer public, it's members only, then it changes to members only. But if it shows up and it says, that it's open to the public, it's because we haven't gone members only yet.
Which by the way, is how you get members. Is you start members only.
Okay, this is a great idea. Actually, I should take a gummy for the next cross.
I thought you had planned to. That's the whole point.
I need to. Well, I gotta go. I just haven't had a chance. I've been busy. I haven't had a chance to go to the store. So
yeah. Yes. You must. Well, if you have time, you should. Because I for one can have a glass of rosé while I'm playing video for you, but I know that you cannot play video for me when you are high.
I can't. I won't. I wouldn't be able to. We would. What would be happening for like 10 minutes? It would be me watching the video on my screen and not realizing that I hadn't put it on the screen for everybody else, and just laughing and having a grand old time. And it would take me years to realize, even if you guys were like talking to me in the chat, it would take me forever to figure out that I was screwing everything up. So I don't think it's a great idea for me. Maybe I'll do a half a gummy. I just remember on my birthday, Ellen and I both took 10 milligram gummies, and then we played that the singing game where it got very physical. Oh God, what a friggin' mess that was. So
did I know it's an homage to Will making fun of LTL making fun of Will? I did not, but now I do. I cannot stand that guy. He blocked me on Twitter because I called him a baby. Proving in fact that he is a baby. Way to prove my point, friend.
Okay. Thank you so much for the $25 tip. And Kay said, for very informative, sensible, and entertaining stream. Thank you so much.
In which we sometimes don't agree. So do we have time to talk about, can we talk about a little bit of the Higgy stuff? Because I love it.
No, I have it pulled up. Yeah, hold on. So Emily C and I talked about this because we were going over the FOIA and Find Out site. Have you had a chance to read these documents?
No, I read them very briefly when they first came out. I just remember thinking, wow, he's a scaredy cat.
Okay. We're going to go over a couple of highlighted bits, and then I just want to get your reaction to them. Yes, we do have stores.
What program
that sell
are you
gummies.
looking at to look at that? It's so small.
Oh, it's just on the, I just haven't made it bigger. It's just on the computer.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
It's on
there
the
you go.
computer. It's on the television, as Reddington would say.
It's on the television.
That
On
is
March
my
21st,
favorite phrase of his, because I think it's completely intentional.
And yeah, of course. Yeah. Yes, Tall Red, Texas. We do have a store that sells gummies. It's called
No, we don't. She does in her area.
So do you.
No, I know, but I mean, we're not selling gummies. With the way you said that, sounded like we have a store that sells gummies.
We don't
If
have
only.
that kind of license. If we
We'd
did,
have so
we'd
much
be
money.
Like, we'd be rolling.
We
you know
would
what I'm
be
saying?
rolling in it, which we are not.
Okay. Okay, so I was reading comments. I get caught.
Lady Harlot, watching Something's Off, my favorite television program. Tell me how it's not a television program. It actually kind of is.
It is. People watch it on their TVs.
Mm-hmm.
On the TVs.
Mm.
Okay. On
I
March
say TV too.
2025, I met with Brian Higgins. This is from Tully. Reporting law enforcement officer, Brian frickin' Tully. I met with Brian Higgins, who was a witness to and testified. He's a witness to, by the way, and testified. How is he a witness to the Commonwealth's case against Karen Reed? How is he a witness to it?
Well, because he was, okay. You don't have to have seen something happen to be a witness.
I know.
Okay. So that I'm just going to let that question.
I'm
going
just
to
saying,
forgive you for asking that question.
I think that was Tully making a slip there is what I'm saying. Mr. Higgins stated he prepared a written statement with accompanying documents because he's got documents. He came with receipts regarding
Papers.
Richard Keough, Microdots, Richie. I'm just going to call him Richie throughout this, and his work with Aidan Kearney and Karen Reed. The provided documents are attached to this report. Sometimes I think that Higgy is joining up with the Haas defendants and isn't coming clean because he's still really butthurt that Karen didn't.
I think he's embarrassed. I think my opinion is that they did it and it wasn't good and he's embarrassed.
Rebecca, do you know that Brian Higgins brings up Kevin from Southie in this investigation?
I do.
Okay.
That's the one part I saw where I was like, yes. JFK's only good moment in the history of, I'm not going to say that. I'm sure he's had other good moments too, but I'm not really a fan of the show, except for that one incident, which I have watched literally 1,000 times. Literally.
Exactly, Tall Red, Texas. He witnessed them altering Karen's car taillight in the Sallyport. Yes, he did. He
for a
witnessed
wildly
that.
long time. He was in there for a wildly long time. He may have actually been one of the people to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So this is written to Tully, March 21st, 2025, from one Brian Higgins. Mr. Higgy, he's in the blue bubbles, everybody. He is in the blue bubbles.
We have merch for that, by the way. Check out our merch store. We have I'm in the blue bubbles merch.
He is writing this report about a pattern of witness intimidation and harassment by Mr. Richard Keough, who I believe resides in Quincy, Massachusetts. You know, because you looked him up in your police officer system, sir. Richie is also known online as Microdots, and based on publicly available information, appears to own and operate RKI Design LLC. He operates the YouTube channel Microdots and the Facebook page, which has... At the time, Microdots only had 31,000 subscribers. Now I think Richie's got like 150,000.
I'm going to take a look. Combined between Facebook and YouTube?
No, just YouTube. So YouTube channel, 31.7 thousand subscribers on YouTube.
I'll tell you how many he has now.
And then he had approximately 40 videos back then. Some of which,
guess what, friend? He's now tripled that. He has 103,000 subscribers.
Yeah. He also manages the Microdots Facebook page, which has approximately 4.5 thousand likes and 7.6 thousand followers. Higgy's been doing his online research. And then the link dropped microdots.com, yada, yada. Richie began targeting me through the creation and dissemination of videos on YouTube.
Targeting me.
This man is a federal agent. He works for the federal government, which says
he carries
that
a gun.
someone who puts a video out about you on YouTube and you're a public figure, you're a police officer, is not targeting you for discrimination or harassment, Higgy. Okay.
I love how people say, I actually don't. When people talk about, so if J7 talked about us on her stream or whatever, that's
Yeah.
not an attack. She's not coming at us. That's not an attack. We're not being targeted. When people sort of immediately say that when someone talks about them, like Jess this morning feels attacked because Arkansas Bestie started a channel when she was on vacation. And my theory about that is because she expected her to do that under the Machado network and get 20% or whatever, or 30%. And that Arkansas Bestie was like, nope, I'm starting my own channel. I don't know how she has visibility on everybody's CPMs, but she does. And I'm guessing it's because she's administrator on their YouTube channels. Anyway, yes, you're not coming at, targeting, attacking somebody when you say something online. That being said, he is also a federal official who carries a badge and a gun and is a bully to people. If you've ever seen that video of him in that store. So
also what he says about Richie and his videos is that the majority, ready for this? The majority of Richie's videos are narrated. Focus on footage of myself and other Commonwealth witnesses at the Waterfront Bar and Grill on January 28, 2022, and suggest that I was responsible for or conspired with others regarding the death of John O'Keefe. Those videos that he's talking about are actual footage. So what are you talking about, Higgy? The videos have been widely circulated on platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly Twitter, and utilized as repeated content by other YouTubers. Guilty. Guilty. I believe these actions, excuse me, are intended to support an alternative narrative aligned with Karen Reed's defense team and to incite and encourage their followers to intimidate and harass me and other Commonwealth witnesses.
I'm scared.
I'm scared. Okay.
I'm
Just
shaped
so
like a bear. I carry a gun,
all-
yet I'm scared.
Let's all put a lighter up for Higgy because over the past 21 months, he has lived in a constant state of fear for his personal safety, even though he's walking around with a gun on his hip, and the safety of those close to me. I've had to
That's why he
remain,
lost so much weight, so people wouldn't recognize him.
probably. I had to remain hyper vigilant in public, and my daily life has been significantly disrupted. And then he gives us examples of how his life has been disrupted, and he is in a constant state of fear for his own personal safety. I have been photographed. I have been photographed while on duty at both Nashville International Airport and Boston Logan International Airport, which has caused employment-related issues. How? Were you not supposed to be on vacation? Did you tell them you were on vacation and then you weren't supposed to be, and then someone ratted you out? Is that what caused the employment-related issues? How could that, were you wearing your ATF jacket? Were you undercover? Like, what are you talking about? Just because someone took a picture of you.
Were you in a public area when you were photographed? Because that's fine.
He says, I have been followed in stores, photographed while shopping and dining, and had multiple unknown individuals drive by my residence to openly record and photograph my home and vehicles, both personally owned and government issued. I have received threatening mail as recently as this week. Do you know what that threatening mail is? Do you know what we're talking about?
Yeah, that
the handwritten note that's like,
stuff.
Higgins, I hope you die.
That looks like it was written by somebody's left
Robert
hand.
Durst. It looks like it was written by Robert Durst.
Yeah, it looks like someone took their non-dominant hand and was like, let me write this so they won't know it's me. In my opinion, that's how it looks. Do you think that people drive by because they want to see the potential site of the, and I like to think of if Karen and Higgy did it, the noodling? Because you know that thing was a noodle.
They were dry humping. Ew.
What did we say? It was like trying to put a rope in a hole.
I know what it is. Do you guys watch Survivor? Do you watch Survivor?
Not for a long time, but occasionally I catch it. Yeah, I watched last season because my son's friend's girlfriend was in it. She was second place.
That's right. My tennis friend's daughter was in it too, Sophie. Do you know the challenges where they have to tie the sticks together and reach it through to get a key, and it always just goes. That's Higgins' dick.
It's like when Laura Ingalls lost her coin in the grate, and when they went to Mankato, and they put bubble gum at the end of a shoelace and fished it down and got it. The bubble gum at the end of a shoelace.
Oh my God, was it Hubba Bubba?
is Higgy.
We're talking about Higgy crying. We are. Okay.
He's a decorated dude.
He's a decorated dude.
Decorated with tears. Am I right?
Here's the crazy part. This is the part where I was like, whoa, Higgy, you're coming with the fire here, brother. Richie has openly admitted that Karen Reed is his client and collaborated with Alan Jackson in his pursuit to free Karen Reed.
Then by extension, this is work product and you can't complain about it. Is this attorney work product?
He took a picture of himself with Karen Reed. He said, my close friend and client, the very beautiful, brilliant, and innocent Karen Reed. He has to better days ahead. Free Karen Reed. And I'm thinking, I think Higgy's jealous. I think Higgy's jealous because Richie had his arm around Karen Reed. And then he posted another photograph of himself with Alan Jackson and then said some stuff about that. And then after the first trial, Richie created and published multiple videos on YouTube in which he advances the defense's third-party culprit theory. Wait, so you're telling me Richie was working for the defense and getting paid by the defense and was also trying to advance the defense's third-party culprit theory?
I can't believe
Is that what
it.
you're saying?
Shocking.
Are you saying it is shocking to me? That is shocking to me that would happen. Richie's conduct involves intentional efforts to instill fear in me as a Commonwealth witness and to encourage others to harass and intimidate me and other Commonwealth witnesses. It also seems that Richie is attempting to taint a future jury pool, which does not seem right if he's working for the defense team. So he's not allowed to do any kind of media. He's not allowed to do interviews. What is it? What are we talking about? Higgy, didn't you have to take a test on this kind of stuff, buddy, to get your ATF license? Like, didn't you have to take a test?
What does
Like
he say? It doesn't
about,
seem right. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't seem right. What do you say?
It also seems that Richie is attempting to taint a future jury pool, which does not seem right if he is working for the.
It doesn't.
It doesn't seem right.
I don't like the vibes.
Is that legal? Is that legal terminology? Is that in the law officers, law enforcement officers, like code of conduct?
Yeah, he's like,
it's right.
Bad vibes, bad juju. I got juju from this. I got vibes from this. Doesn't seem right. Yeah.
Higgy says doesn't seem right. So now Tully has probable cause. Is that what we're saying?
He's sneaky. He's being sneaky. I'm going to play some sneaky music.
As the second trial approaches, I fear that the intimidation and harassment directed toward me and other witnesses will escalate. Here we go. On or about March 3rd, 2025, YouTube creators JFK and James Jackson hosted a live stream titled Karen Reed, 28 Days Till Trial, All Eyes on the Prize, which had 6.7 thousand views. The promotional material for this broadcast, which remains publicly accessible, prominently features a photograph of me taken during my response to the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing, where I am wearing an ATF raid jacket. Alarmingly, a firearm optic has been superimposed over my head, accompanied by the caption, "You're in the defense's scope now, KFSB." Throughout their broadcasts, JFK and James Jackson frequently refer to me, of all people, as Kevin from South Boston, which is what KFSB stands for. Prior to this specific live stream, they have repeatedly utilized content created and disseminated by Richie and in connection with myself and other Commonwealth witnesses. As a result of this conduct, and as my role as a witness in the Commonwealth be Karen Reed, I live in fear for my safety daily because they call me Kevin from South Boston. And don't they know that I'm a decorated dude?
He's a decorated dude.
They're decorated dudes.
In this investigation brought up. So here's the funny thing to me about this. This one paragraph is the one that stands out to me the most. He is saying that they put a picture of him up with his ATF jacket on the Boston bombing and they superimposed a gun. All that stuff is bad. Like I don't agree with that. Fine.
I agree. But I also think it's weird that he'd be claiming to be scared because two dudes live in different parts of the country who record a podcast in their car. They record a podcast in their car and they frequently refer to Higgins as Kevin from South Boston. Why would they do that unless Higgins from South Boston
Kevin from South Boston, aka Higgy, had called into their show and then hung up when they called him out on being Brian Higgins.
By the way, there is a Kevin from South Boston sweatshirt in our merch store.
Yes, there is.
The t-shirt that was in our merch store, I think the t-shirt itself has been discontinued because it's so tiny. Like I wear a size like XL in it. But like the white sweatshirt with the Kevin on the back, like a sports team, and South Boston on the front is still available in our merch store.
You're absolutely right, Jess. He never says he isn't.
Because he is.
Because he is.
I would bet half of my retirement account.
By my bits, Microdots voice match on Kevin from South Boston is
Yeah, we did that. I think I played that for Kevin on an early version of the readathon. I was like, listen to this. What do you think?
And then he goes on. He goes on to then list a bunch of the Microdots videos.
Name some titles.
Okay. Preview. Look the Other Way. John was in the house. The Karen Reed case. Look the Other Way. Karen Reed case. 3D recreation by Microdots. Decoding the waterfall. Karen Reed case analysis. Wild Animals. Karen Reed 3D recreation by Microdots. Short. Leaving the waterfall. Enhance. Short. Deeper down the waterfall. Preview for The Drop Off by Microdots. So he put this video in the investigation, and the video hadn't even come out yet. It's just
a preview. Trailer. I don't like this. This trailer is scaring me.
I don't like this trailer.
It scares me.
Rachel, who's been a member for a month. Any other case, if the cops got this letter, they would say, that's suspicious. That's weird. So telling how they handled it.
Precious boy.
Didn't handle it. He is a precious boy. All right. So that was Higgins' letter to Tully. And then he put this.
Oh.
So this is a Facebook post. One of the Facebook posts. This is Richie and Alan Jackson. And then this is Richie and Karen Reed, which is on the cover of our thumbnail for this. And then drop Microdots. Please like and subscribe, and please comment on Brian Albert, Chris Albert, and Higgins' body language 10 minutes before they taunted John. Also, the band had stopped playing already, so when they speak closely, it's not because of noise. They looked as though they were conspiring, or perhaps just bitching about John O'Keefe. Why did he include this?
It's terrifying.
Oh my God.
He's a skirt.
They're bitching about John O'Keefe over there. They're bitching about John O'Keefe. More Microdots from Facebook. And then this is the Kevin from South Boston. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Dear Lord.
Yep. Live chat.
This is very suspenseful. It's like, what's going to come next?
There's nothing. These are all just hearts. Higgy.
I know. I love that they're all sideways.
I know. They're just hearts. I'm like, what the hell? I don't even know what that is. Oh, Karen Reed. Why is this picture in here? Why?
Scary? Because it's scary.
Why
Briscoe
is this
doesn't like
picture
it.
in here? All right, Microdots Facebook page, Microdots Facebook page, more Karen Reed. I don't know why he put that in there again. I think he just likes her face.
He misses it. He really blew it with that one.
He really did.
He really blew it when he helped cover up the murder of her boyfriend.
Probably blew it as soon as she left his apartment when he had whiskey dick. But
in our opinion.
Let's see. Turtle Boy report.
You
think you can handle me?
I do actually. I actually do.
I'm
100% sure I could handle you.
You think you can handle me?
I'd bet my retirement account.
Why is he just putting up all these tweets from Richie? This is insane. But yet, he didn't do this kind of investigation about loophole lawyer.
No.
That doesn't make any sense. That's suspicious. That's weird. So there it is. What are your thoughts? Question mark.
I think, again, he was trying to get somebody charged in order to shut them up. He was trying to get Richie to have a scary visit from cops wearing brown shoes that look like dress shoes on the top, but actually have white sneaker bottoms and way too tight pants. He was trying to get them to go to Richie's house and intimidate them the way that they did with all those women in Canton. So that's he wanted a scary police visit or a charge of harassment or intimidation so that the videos with the bad AI British voice would stop coming out, because there's something about those videos that really bothers him.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's the fight at the end, not the fight, but when Chris Albert grabs his arm.
That is so not suspicious.
It's not suspicious. It's suspicious, Higgs. What do you want from us? We got to talk about it. We're allowed
You guys
to
think he's afraid of Loophole? Please.
No.
Please.
No. He's not going to sue Loophole because Loophole is a lawyer, even though he's...
Loophole would lose a slap fight. Come on now.
Yeah, the shoe description is pretty on point. I like to call those shoes business on the top, party on the bottom. Just like the opposite of a mullet, business on the top, party on the bottom.
My son's a social worker, and I got him a pair of those shoes when we were at like Banana Republic, the outlet or something. I got him a couple of, before he started the job, I got him a couple of new clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's in his 20s, but he still can't pick his own clothes out. He can. He's just not as good as it as I am.
You are such a mama's boy.
He actually, my kids are both mama's
boy.
boys. He actually asked me to go with him. Anyway, and I picked him out. I got him a pair of those shoes, and I was like, listen, as a social worker who drives to people's houses and meets with clients, including young people, these are completely appropriate. If you ever have a different job and wear these to work, I'm disowning you.
They are.
So anyway.
They're mullet shoes. The next time you see him, tell him he's got business on the top, party on the bottom. Oh, Rebecca. So guys, I think I probably will stream tomorrow, but I think I'll probably start it like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour later than court, only because I don't like to watch it in real time. I like to speed it up a little bit, and they usually don't start. So court's supposed to start tomorrow at 9 a.m. They probably won't start until 9:30, 9:45. So I will probably start my stream around 9:30, 9:45, and we can hang out until court starts if it hasn't already started. But I should be able to watch it with you all tomorrow. I can't imagine we're going to go until 5 o'clock. I don't think he ever goes until 5. So why don't we?
He did say tomorrow was going to be a long day.
Yeah, well, a long day to him is like 4 o'clock still. So I think that's what I'm probably going to do tomorrow.
Ham sandwich?
I don't like ham. I'm not eating a ham sandwich.
I don't know. You're just my type.
I was watching Hank Brennan question La Posada again today.
Oh my god.
Oh, Rebecca, it's so we have to do it on.
And he was like, "Do you have memory problems?" That was her, right? Or was that Russell? That was
Russell.
Yeah.
He's about her age or whatever. No, with La Posada, she's just schooling him like he's a toddler.
I know.
And he's just taking it on the chin.
I think, hadn't he used her as an expert before? I was under the, yeah.
He was so uncomfortable because he probably wants to use her again. And now she's going to be like, you're an asshole. I'm not working for you. Yeah. The only other thing that I had to show before we get out of here is I did find this cute video.
This is our final element of the show.
This is our final element of the show. These are Kevin Reddington's best moments so far from the trial.
Oh, I saw that on the TikTok.
I thought it was cute. So let's watch that real quick. And then I got to get out of here because I have my second practice of the day for reach.
I'm doing happy hour with my husband today, which we do usually once a week.
Very nice. Okay. Here's our buddy Reddington. So these are some of his best moments so far. I'm sure you all have seen them, but I like them all clipped up like this.
But the main objection is that it's inaccurate.
Did you have a copy maybe that you could look at?
Oh, I have a copy.
Approach you with
I'm muting.
If we can just approach quick.
No, I don't want to go to the sidebar. I really don't want to go to the sidebar. I want to tell you that they got picked up on a hot mic saying shut her up during the playing of that autopsy.
Rules that forensic psychiatrists and psychologists follow.
You're not looking for the name of the priest.
It's Father Bob.
Who went back there, are you?
Father Bob.
What, I mean...
That's it? That's your testimony?
Objection.
No, overall.
Condition, when they see the... Let me finish.
Which appears to factually have the same numbered paragraphs.
Oh, he's too good. I just love him so much. Unfortunately, I mean, this is probably why I can never be a lawyer, though, because he's been doing this for probably like 50 years.
Yeah.
I would start at like 55 and I would already be to his level of frustration as a human being.
And you'd get in so much trouble. You're getting
And I
so
would
much
get in
trouble.
so much trouble because I wouldn't have the experience that he has, and I would already be like that would be the reason why I couldn't be a lawyer. Because if somebody was like objection, I'd be like, sit the fuck down. Like
He's doing stuff in court that another lawyer would not get away with.
But that's because he has so
100%.
much experience.
And he's so respected. He is so respected. So anyway, I love him.
Yeah.
I love him.
I love him too. All right, so I'm gonna see you guys back here tomorrow, Rebecca. If you are around, I don't remember what we talked about, but if you're around, I'll just be in.
Yeah, I might be able to pop in.
Yeah.
You know, I have some stuff to do in the morning related to my big important job, but I have some. I can pop in.
Have you seen the video of the baby?
I have, and I didn't know whether I loved it or it made me very uncomfortable because it's babies.
It's
Because I know
that's their thing, but
I know it's their thing.
It's the last one with
I know
Reddington
it's
with the
their thing.
gigantic thing.
I know. I've seen it. I recommend people look it up. You can decide if you like it or not. I liked it, but then I also felt weird about liking it. That being said, can I just tell you one other anecdote from Melanie today about the jury duty of the show? So she's an actor in addition to being a lawyer. She auditioned for jury duty. And the way that they made them audition, the lawyers, was prepare a closing argument for John Wilkes Booth and deliver it.
Oh my God.
Isn't that great?
Yes. That show's amazing.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
All right. We appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for the super chats and for the tips and for becoming members. We love you very much. We will be back on Monday for our members only cross roast. I will be back tomorrow morning for court. Rebecca might pop in. I guess if anything happens, we could jump on over the weekend, but I don't foresee anything happening right now.
But sometimes we just do that for fun. You know how we are.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a members only. Let's do a gossipy members only this weekend.
Why
After
not?
I get back from regionals.
Yeah, why not? Just let me know because you might be tired.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Love you all. Thank you so much. Rebecca, you're the best. I appreciate you.
Same, girl.
You know, go squeeze Kevin's butt for me.
I'll squeeze those cakes.
Yeah, squeeze that cake. Bye.
You hear it first in the break in the story. One little crack and the whole thing gets wary. A witness swears but the timeline bends. A smile too smooth and the trail just ends. Mel Barrett says, hold up, look again. Rebecca Lavoie follows every thread. If it feels too neat, then it's not the truth. There's a shadow line running through the room. Something's off, something's off. You can feel it in the bones. Something's off, something's off. When the facts won't come home. Something's off, something's off. And the case won't stay in place. Something's off. We're the ones who chase